Hello and welcome back to Easy IT. Today we're going to be discussing IP subnetting. We're going to do the easiest example of IP subnetting, and that's /24, which is the subnet mask 255.255.255.0. Let's get started here. First off, we want to learn the method of subnetting. And in this example, we're going to do /24 again, which equals a subnet mask of 255.255.255.0. The IP address is important, but it's vital to understand that with the subnet mask, wherever the subnet mask is 255, that locks down the octet above it in the IP address from changing. So we're going to figure out how much can the IP address change, which creates our range of IPs, our network IP, and our broadcast IP. And we do this with a method where we count the zeros in the subnet mask. So the very first step with this method is to draw out the ones and the zeros in the subnet mask. The number 255 is 8 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Dot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Dot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Dot and then 8 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The thing is, these ones equal 255. Why is that? Because each of these bits in this octet, right here, if added together, they equal 255. And each of the values of those 8 bits in each octet are the following, from left to right: 128, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, and 1. If you add all of these numbers together right here for each of the bits in each octet, it equals 255. So this is the subnet mask 255.255.255.0, all written out in ones and zeros in the binary way. What we're going to do here is we're going to count the zeros. Now, yeah, the rightmost bit in each of these octets is equal to the number 1. Let me type those out again. These values for each of these 8 bits are left to right: 128, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, and 1. But with this method, to get it to work, to figure out our range of IPs that are available, we're not going to count with the number 1 on the far right 0. We're instead going to count with the number 2. And when we start with the number 2, we're going to double it with each jump to the left until we get to the ones, and then we're going to stop. Let's do that now. Let's count these, starting with the number 2 and doubling it with each jump to the left. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256. In an IP address, only the number 255, that is the highest available number. But remember, we're including 0. So when we get the number 256, that's the total number of IPs. The total number. Because 0 through 255 is 256 total numbers. So we can't use the number 256 in IP addresses or subnet masks, but it's really the secret total value. And that makes sense. This whole octet being zeros is allowing us to change the number 256 times, or 0 through 255. Now that's our range here. What this means is we're going to be able to change the 4th octet 256 times. Now, let's pick an IP address to go with this. Let's choose an easy one, like 192.168.1.something. And with this system, we're going to figure out what our range of IPs are. That involves figuring out the network IP address. This is always the lowest possible IP. So with this subnet mask, The octets 192.168 and 1 are locked down from changing because of the 255s up here in the subnet mask. Those keep that from changing. That's what we call the network ID. So the network is going to be, for this network, the identity is always going to start with 192.168.1 because the 255s in the subnet mask are keeping it from changing. So our network IP address is 192.168.1. Now the network IP is the lowest one, and that makes it .0. Let's move on to the first available IP address that a computer can get. First available IP is going to be 192.168.1.1. This is what computers or devices can have. Computers are not allowed to have the network IP. It's a bookend. It's the thing that defines the range of that network. Let's move on to the last available IP address for this network setup. 192.168.1. Not 255 and not 256. Can't do 256 at all, but 255 is the other bookend. So the last available IP for a computer is 254. This is, again, what computers can have. Now we need to figure out the top end. This is called the broadcast IP, and he is going to be the other bookend. And the other bookend here with this network is going to be 192.168.1.255. So if you look here, we started with a low bookend that defines the network, and that's the low number of 192.168.1.0. And then our high bookend is 192.168.1.255. Again, remember to notice that these numbers don't change for this network because the subnet mask is the boss of the IP address. Therefore, 192.168.1 is the network portion. The fourth octet in the subnet mask is all zeros here, so it's allowing the IP address to change. How many times? 256 times. 256 is not really an option, but 0 through 255 is, which is a total of 256 total IPs as we determined by counting our zeros in the subnet mask. 0, that's the low number. 255 is our high number. Everything else in between is what computers or users or devices can have on this network. I hope this helps. If this is confusing, watch it again and see if you can figure out /24 subnet mask work, which is 255.255.255.0 combined with the IP address that you choose. And almost any IP address is okay to choose here. Thank you for watching. I hope this has been easy for you. Thanks for watching Easy IT.